Okay, so here's game number 2 for the first match of the Clan War. H2O Sentimental is down 0-1 versus Pandora, with a game on Scrap Station that ended in a bunch of Broodlords and Roaches tearing apart his army, unfortunately. We do have Sentimental spawning in the 1 o'clock position, and we do have EZO spawning in the 7 o'clock position. So what do you think we're going to see here from each of these players with a map like Blistering Sands?
I would assume, well, depending on what Sentimental wants to do, a 3-gate expand works really well on this map, but you have to be careful because of the backdoor rocks, and you have to either protect them well or just completely wall off the normal entrance to your natural, and then just break down the rocks yourself, which works very, very well. Generally with a forge would be better than a 3-gate expand. I'm assuming that Pandora will use speedlings to their fullest capacity, because on this map, speedlings are incredible with the backdoor rocks to the main base.
Right, yeah. Okay, so we do see the pylon going down for Sentimental in his main base. So, you know, a wall off with gateways isn't coming right now. It'd be interesting to see if there's going to be a gateway or a forge first, to see which kind of build he's going to be going. And we'll find out right now. And it is a gateway. Okay. And Pandora is again at 15 minerals with 200. So he's probably going to be throwing down that 15 hatch again. We do see Sentimental being a bother and preventing that expansion from going down. And he does stop it again. Is he going to throw down a pylon? Doesn't look like he wants to throw down a pylon, just wants to annoy him over here. Oh, he does throw down a pylon. Okay.
Loses the probe, but that's, especially in the one-player maps, there's absolutely no reason that you should let the Zerg 15 hatch.
Yeah.
If you can stop them. It's very, very crucial, because on Pandora, laughing at the drone. But on 1v1 maps, when you know their spawn positions, you just have to block the hatch. It gives them such an advantage early game.
Yeah, I mean, especially in a map like this too, where the 3rd expansion isn't even a viable alternate, because of the fact that it's just so far away. So we do see Pandora has 3 drones picking away at this pylon, but he has delayed this expansion very much. He caused him to go spawning pool instead. And he has 4 drones off of minerals mining.
And a gas steal from Pandora.
I do see a lot of gas steals in, ZVP, and it always seems to be beneficial for, Zerg to steal the gas from a Protoss, just because it kind of makes it a little, like,
it makes
safer.
the matchup, yeah, exactly, safer. That you know the builds they can do when you steal the gas.
Exactly.
It just takes one zealot to kill it, but
right. I mean, you prevent your opponent from really going Stargate, or at least if they're going to, they're going to have to delay it really far. You prevent mass sentries from coming out because of the fact that sentries are so gas heavy, and even the stalker count would be low, just because of the fact that stalkers cost gas.
Now I'm interested to see if Sentimental is going to go for a 3-gate expand again. It is quite good on this map, however, he's got to be careful.
However, there is a 4th gate coming down now. We do have the drone running around, and he only sees 2 right now. The stalker can pick him off right now. There you go. So he does not see anything other than 2 gates and a cybernetics core, which is good. That could be very beneficial for Sentimental. We do have a pause from Pandora. So while we wait, we just unfortunately I didn't get to see the Zerg's base from the mini-map. I could see that there is a spawning pool, as well as metabolic boost coming down and 1 gas, which still has drones mining on it. I do not know if there is a lair, but I highly doubt it at this point in time, just for the fact that there is metabolic boost going down. and it just doesn't seem like the right timing right now. Let's go see what's going on in the stream here. Okay, and it looks like we got it ready from our players, so okay, so once again, just back here. Yeah, so there's no lair yet from Pandora. We do see a probe coming across with a Zealot and a Stalker. That probe is probably going to try and throw down a proxy pylon. I'm not sure if those Zerglings were at the watchtower and if he saw these units coming, but he definitely sees them now. So we'll see 14 Zerglings in production from Pandora, as well as 2 spine crawlers going down in his natural. Those gateways are done. Warp gate has just finished, so he will be warping in a nice amount of units very shortly. There are 2 Zealots warping in. That Queen picking off that 1 Zealot there. Oh, actually no, he does survive with 4 health. But there are a nice amount of Zerglings here. And we do see Sentimental moving over instead to take out the rocks. And those rocks are going to fall pretty fast with the amount of units that he has. But that pylon is probably going to go down now. He's going to lose that pylon.
Yeah.
Which is a very good move by Pandora to definitely take out that pylon, because you always want to be able to take out that pylon to delay the push.
And Sentimental is actually expanding behind this.
Which is, I think that's good. You know, it shows that he's not trying to put himself all in, but he is definitely trying to, you know, do some heavy economic damage and put himself ahead. Because right now, you know, he does feel like he's behind.
This is actually incredibly smart. Those Zerglings don't have a chance against that Stalker Zealot army.
No, definitely not.
He is currently up in Harvesters, and he's forcing more Zerglings.
Which is great to prevent any kind of more drones coming out. And it does look like he's going to be using these Zealots to absorb all the damage and use the Stalkers to just pick everything off from a distance. The Roach Warren is not yet finished. He's moving his spine crawlers up to try and want to try and pick off those spine crawlers before they're able to finish rooting down. But he does actually put the spine crawler down far away. A bunch of more Zerglings popping out from Pandora. He's focusing down that spawning pool to prevent any more Zerglings from coming out. There are 4 roaches in production though, and 4 Stalkers are coming across the map now. But he actually ends up pulling them back.
I definitely like that choice picking off the spawning pool. His expansion, he's a little bit weak at home. He only has 5 Stalkers. Roaches are horrible against Stalkers unless they have speed and burrow. And right now, there's no spawning pool, so we can't create Zerglings. So this was a great play by Sentimental, and he is far, far ahead. Yeah, if you look at the Harvesters count here, we do have Pandora with 18 drones, all pretty much on 1 base. And Sentimental does have 38 probes, pretty well saturated on 2 base, with 2 gas and a robotics facility in production as well. Look at the units lost tab. They're about even with resources, but just the unit count is, you know, well in Sentimental's favor, which also has to do with the fact that there's just so many Zerglings that pop out at a time. But I really do think that Sentimental did a hell of a lot of damage to that, to the economy and the, you know, the production of Pandora. We do see another secondary push here coming. 2 Zealots, 5 Stalkers, 2 Sentries, 4 Zealots. And we're going to try and focus those Sentries down. Does take 1 out, and he's now nice Guardian Shield there to pick off that Queen. And those Roaches are not going to stand a chance against those Stalkers, especially with that Guardian Shield. And that Sentry, unfortunately, does not make it out alive. So I think Sentimental is just trying to keep Pandora on his toes, trying to prevent him from building any drones, and instead making him build units to attack with. The pressure has worked quite well. He's still 15 Harvesters up. And he's pressured twice now. That the second one didn't do as much damage, but really what it did is it forced more units, which is exactly where he wants to be, is ahead in Harvester count and on 2 base versus 2 base.
Yep, we do see Pandora with these Speedlings. He does see the units move out, so he's going to try and run by with these Speedlings and try and do some damage to the economy of Sentimental. and it does look like he's going to do some nice damage. The probes are retreating, and there are 2 stalkers in there to defend, and now the rest of his army does come to help out, and now it's a good defense by Sentimental. Where, you know, didn't really lose too many probes there. Yeah, he's still at 46 harvesters over Pandora's 29. So right now, Sentimental has to feel pretty comfortable with his position right now. We still have no lair from Pandora, so right now he's, you know, limited to just Zerglings and roaches. Not even speed roaches, not even burrow.
And this might be the final push.
Yeah.
It's 64 to 96. That army is very, very scary for a Zerg player, especially even with just 1 immortal.
Yeah, and it does look like Pandora is actually putting out units instead of drones, so it looks like he's going to try and push for his last stand. But it's all going to come down to the engagement here, where he can engage. He's going to want to try and pull those. He's going to want to try and pull those units back and force field them so that they can't get defense from their spine crawlers. But it does look like he's changing his mind and going to the back.